Okay, so this is going to be a video on how to remove the tires with the rims from the cast iron wheels. This is a 1939 John Deere A, and best I can tell, these are original tires. Well, not original tires, but original wheels and rims. The wheels are just cast iron centers, pretty common. The rims are, people call them snap ring or lock ring or split rims. This is probably original to this tractor, or at least this time period. So these are coming off, and mostly because these are 36-inch wheels. They're 12.4-36, both sides. They were mismatched when I got them. This one has always been a little worse. This is a Firestone. That one over there is a Goodyear. But I found a set of 38-inch wheels. So rather than just replacing this one and dealing with 36s all the time, I'm gonna step up to 38. So I got to get these off so that I can put the 38s on. So this is going to be how to do it. Essentially, I'm going to loosen up all these bolts first. There's 8 bolts on each side. The centers should be able to just stay on the axle. I shouldn't have to fool with the hubs at all. And so hopefully I'll just unbolt these pretty easy, and I'll give you an update. They've been soaking in penetrating oil overnight. I squirted them a few times, and hopefully they'll break loose for me. Okay, so here's an update. I got it jacked up. The jack is just there, you know, just because it's not really holding any weight, but I've got it on jack stands. This wheel's where I started. The nuts came off surprisingly easier than I expected. There is one wedge that's being stubborn, but hosed it down with penetrating oil, and there's not much tolerance between the wheel and the rim, so crud gets back in there, rust and stuff. I've been beating with a sledge, you know, trying not to beat up the rim real bad, but just beating on the rim, and you can see there is now a gap between the rim and the cast. So even up here where it's tight, that's hard to see, but anyhow, it's coming, it's starting. So I'll update you when I get this one off. Okay, so that one wedge that was real stubborn, I finally got it off there, just using a hammer and beat around the edge of the rim, and you can see I made pretty good progress here. I think one or two more whacks and it ought to come off. So I'll try to do this one-handed. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if you saw that or not, but it did fall. So there, it's loose. So that rim and tire are loose on the wheel. So the next step is to use this notch right here where the valve stem sits. That notch is going to be the thing that allows me to pivot this tire 45 degrees. I kick the front over, you know, toward the flywheel there. Yeah. So angle this. Now it's completely loose. So I'm gonna have to angle this, you know, 45 degree this way to use that notch, set the rim in the notch, and then work it up off the notch. So I'll update you when I can. Okay, so it's just been a few seconds. It really doesn't take much, but you know, you got to manhandle it, so I need 2 hands. So essentially I kick that wheel over, use that notch, kind of let the rim sit down in that notch, and that's what gives you enough clearance down here to get the bottom through. So just about there. I might have to kind of back it up and kind of redo it there, but you just got to kind of manhandle it. But without that notch, you couldn't do it. So that's how the whole system works. Okay, so it just took me a minute or two of just manhandling that thing and working it back and forth to work it out from under the center there. But that's it. This one's free. So the rim is in pretty bad shape. It's probably a little worse than I expected it was. But tire's pretty good, so maybe somebody will get some use out of that. But that's how you do it. And the other side works just the same way. So that's how you get the wheel off of one of these old cast centers. This just happens to be a 39A, but same kind of principle. I mean, if your centers have that notch, you know, that's it. So you don't have to fool with any of them hub bolts. You don't have to slide on the axle. I didn't touch none of that stuff. So it's just these 8 bolts here, beat it with a sledgehammer this way, have that notch on top, and then set the rim down in that notch and walk it right off. So that's all there is to it. It's hard, but it's simple. So just one more update. I didn't plan on making an update of the second wheel. That first one, I don't know, it probably took me 45 minutes to an hour to do that one. This one took me 5 minutes. I looked at my watch, you know, the clock on my phone. This thing like fell apart. I mean, it'd been soaking in penetrating oil overnight, you know, all them bolts. And then I went ahead and hosed the inside of the rim down with the stuff too. The difference between the two, I think it took so much more beating on that one, was because that wheel is full of calcium. You can see that wheel's all rotted out, where that valve stem's been leaking. And, you know, when the old guys put fluid in these things, they all leaked. So that's what rots out the rims real bad. This one, I don't think ever did have calcium in it, or if it did, it's been gone for a long time and somebody's cleaned it up since then. But this one was so much cleaner, like literally took me 5 minutes to take out all those bolts and pop the damn thing off. I had to hit it like 3 times total, I think, with a sledgehammer. That one, I mean, I probably hit a couple hundred times. So, you know, it's not technically difficult at all, but you got to manhandle it. So it's kind of physically hard, but very simple. So main thing is you work the rim, you know, beat it off, you know, take out all of your bolts, hit it with a hammer, the wheel falls in here then, and then you work the rim into that notch, get it up on center, and then just walk it right off. That's how it works. So this is a 39A, but you know, there's a lot of different models that use that same style of wheel. So that's it. It's done. Go pick up the new ones. Get them on.